Good afternoon, everyone. The Erehwon Artworld Corporation, the Erehwon Art Foundation, Inc., and the Erehwon Center for the Arts welcome you to the book launch of SYM, Galicano, and PASPI. We will begin the program in a few minutes. We would like to thank our guest live here at Erehwon, the author, Amadís Guerrero, the Erehwon Art Foundation, Inc. Chairman, Boise Villavicencio, and Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines, Inc. Director, Alvin Montano. We also would like to welcome PASPI artists Dante Silverio, Jo Marie Sanclaria, Romeo Montes, Wilson Baldemor, and Nick Masangkay. Also here with us, and we would like to take this opportunity to congratulate him, Mr. Fred Baldemor. Mr. Baldemor has been nominated by the Sangguniang Panlungsod ng Pasig under the leadership of Mayor Vico Soto to the Order of National Artists of the Philippines for Visual Arts Sculpture. Congratulations for your nomination. We also would like to welcome our guests who are with us virtually. PASPI founder, Mr. Romulo Galicano, PASPI board member, Romy Ballada, and PASPI president, C. Cadid. And joining us from Cebu are PASPI Cebu artist, Boy Briones, Boboy Canete, Ariel Caratao, Ramon de Dios, Efren Enolva, and Carly Florido. We also would like to acknowledge the virtual presence of art historian and curator Patrick Flores, the book editor Portia Placino, art critic and artist Sid Reyes, our distribution partners Fully Book, Solidarity Book Shop, Popular Bookstore, and artbooks.ph, and to all of you who have joined us on Zoom and Facebook Live, a warm welcome. To our Zoom audience, please stay with us until the end of the program as we will be giving away 2 copies of the SYM, Galicano, and PASPI Coffee Table Book to lucky guests today. We shall now begin the program. Presenting to you the Erehwon Youth Rondalia for the invocation to be followed by the Philippine National Anthem. Thank you, Erehwon Dalia. For the welcome remarks, we have Mr. Boise Villavicencio. Thank you, Sir Boise. Now, let us get to know more about the author from the book's editor, Portia Placino.
Hello everyone, I'm Portia Placino, the editor of the book. It is my pleasure to introduce our author, though most of us already know him and his works. Amadís Guerrero is a veteran book author, short story writer, one-time columnist for two national newspapers, biographer, feature writer specializing on Philippine arts and letters, travel writer, journalist, copy editor, and memoirist. In his youth, he worked for 8 years at the Associated Press Manila Bureau as a staff writer and deskman. He speaks three languages, English, Spanish, and Filipino, and can read French. Through the years, his stories, articles, columns, and reviews have appeared in national magazines and newspapers. These days, he contributes regularly to the Philippine Daily Inquirer, the country's leading newspaper. He has written and published 17 books, including this one, and still counting. Mr. Guerrero was born in Ermita, Manila, to a family of writers, doctors, visual artists, and scientists. He is a fifth-generation Guerrero, so writing is in his blood. He was educated at the Jesuit-run Ateneo de Manila and holds an AB in English and History from the University of Santo Tomas in Manila. He writes in English, and some of his short stories have been translated into German, Czech, and Filipino. He has won prestigious Palanca and Manila Critics Circle awards for his stories and travel essays. He has written 4 collections of short stories, often about living in the urban jungle, 6 books of travel essays, for he has traveled the length and breadth of the Philippine archipelago, and 8 deluxe volumes, or coffee table books. The latter included a history of the Art Association of the Philippines, biographies of prominent visual and performing artists, the province of Bulacan's achievements in 7 lively arts, Tanghalang Filipino, a resident company of the Cultural Center of the Philippines celebrating its 25 years in Philippine theater, and the Philippine Social Realists, also published by Erehwon Artworld Corporation. Once again, our author, Amadís Guerrero.
Presenting to you the author of SYM, Galicano, and PASPI, Mr. Amadís Guerrero, for a short message.
I thought it was suddenly malapit na naman po. I'm from private in ABS. ABS. How long did you from there? 10 minutes. Into the light traffic on this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. This new book of ours is different from the first art book, Philippine Social Realists, which had an activist stance. Published in 2019, also by Ariel. For one thing, we have more artists, 8 from Manila, and an equal number from Cebu. All are members of PASPI. Some are professionals, others don't claim to be such. All are of professional caliber, and they have their own clientele. As the title indicates, artists are led by the masters SYM Mendoza, who is Canada-based, and Romulo Galicano. Another master will be Baldemor, is here, better known as a sculptor, as his first love is painting. Yet another familiar name will be Dante Silvero, sportsman, who is also a dedicated artist and gallery owner. Merit and quality are the main criteria in becoming a member of PASPI, whether it is a book or Manila chapter. They learn and improve not only the portraiture, but also landscapes and seascapes, an important training ground, still life, and figurative painting. And they may move on to abstract art if they so wish. The members are lucky to have Galicano as their mentor. Galicano is paying it back or paying it forward by passing on what he has learned from SYM himself, who happens to be his brother-in-law. And another excellent teacher, Martino Abellano of Cebu. Galicano himself is from Caratao. In teaching business, quote, we criticize not to degrade the work, but to help them improve, to appeal. That is our mission. We who are experienced artists should help and guide the younger artists who are looking for such guidance. Unquote. As in the first book, one chapter is devoted to each artist, and listening to them talk was again, for me, an enriching experience. They discuss not just the growth and development as artists, but the challenges which they face, the vicissitudes in their life, and their success. The common denominator was their determination to succeed. And so I came away with a feeling that this is nothing original. While science focuses on mankind's physical well-being, art focuses on the spiritual and metaphysical side. Art, not just visual art, but all the arts, make one or should make one a better person. In thinking and feeling human beings. Thank you for sharing this special day with us. And stay healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Amadís Maria Guerrero. And now, let us hear a reading from the book's foreword from the foreword writer himself, Dr. Patrick Flores.
So good afternoon, everyone. I would like to congratulate, first of all, Erehwon for making this book happen and for Amadís Maria Guerrero to make it happen during a pandemic. It is with great interest that we read another work of Amadís Maria Guerrero. As a student of art history, I regard The Struggle for Philippine Art, which was published in 1974, and he co-authored with the esteemed Purita Calao Ledesma, as an indispensable account of the emergence of modernism in Philippine art from the late 40s through the early 70s. Such emergence was cast in light of a supposed decline of a previous establishment and the ascendancy of a successor vanguard. I mentioned this seminal title not only to offer tribute to Amadís, but also to revisit the debates that had animated the struggle of the talent and the tradition in the heady days of the 50s in Manila. These debates seem to run through present predicaments and continue to shape ideas about Philippine art, specifically in relation to such concerns as realism and abstraction. That these issues persistently trouble the artistic mind and lead historians and critics to reassess ideas and notions which oftentimes harden into truisms, if not obstinate orthodoxies, can only mean this, that the vocation of art and the discipline of its history are always poised to reconsider and therefore to transform, humbled by an ecology of forces surely larger than certain conceits which come with stature. The book focuses on the careers of SYM, or SYM, Mendoza, and Romulo Galicano. But it also lurches forward to discuss the Portrait Artists Society of the Philippines Incorporated, or PASPI, even as it bends in the same vein backwards to appraise the inspiration of Martino Abellana. It is important to note that the story of art that this publication tells does not begin in Manila, perceived to be the center of the solar system of the Philippine art world. It rather unfolds in Karkar in Cebu. This in itself contributes significantly to the body of literature on a species of Philippine art that takes root in and flourishes beyond the metropolitan privileges of Manila. This is the entry point of this effort, art historical context, which later takes in the Dimasalang fraternity. In this regard, it is right for Amadís to reference how his and Ledesma's book characterizes the Dimasalang coterie as indebted to the heritage fostered by the corpus and reputation of Fernando Amarsola. This brings me to the other important context, which is the reflection on modernism in light of the enduring legacy of Amarsola, who is considered the gentle master of the conservative school. The latter, of course, is a shorthand of a nuanced sensibility, perhaps an oversimplification that has been taken for action. It is commonplace for art history to portray Amarsola as embodying the supposedly unchanging virtues of the academic tradition and its assimilation into the discourse of national identity, appropriated both by the state and popular culture. A prominent element in the art of Amarsola is a distinct quality of tropical light and how his technique evokes both its essence and its tangible effects on myriad surfaces. The writer Nick Joaquin elucidates on this directness of Amarsola's sanguine engagement with the Philippine sunlight, and I would like to quote Joaquin: "The light for which he is famous is the rapture of a sensualist utterly in love with the earth, with the Philippine earth." End of quote. This formal articulation was inflected by, or perhaps even suffused with, his own exuberance as a man alive, leaving Joaquin almost breathless in his wonder. And I quote again, "One cannot tell if it's the light that expresses the sensuality or it's the sensuality that expresses the light." So on this note, I would like to congratulate again everyone for this publication. Of course, its esteemed author, Amadís Maria Guerrero. Mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you, Dr. Flores. SYM Mendoza is the founding leader of the Dimasalang Artists. He is also a friend and mentor to PASPI's founder Romulo Galicano. Mr. Galicano regards SYM Mendoza as the ugat ng PASPI. Currently residing in Canada, Mr. SYM Mendoza gives us a glimpse of his current art practice.
It's just a continuation of what I was doing before the last time. Now, the last time I was doing already abstraction. Now, my art today is just a continuation of my abstraction, so personal that I can explain it elaborately or dynamically. Now, in their case, we cannot explain it, John, because it's too personal. Just like your art. Kung magtanong sila, what is your message about your art? Well, anong sagot mo message? That is already advanced.
Mr. Mendoza, a renowned maestro, revered and continues to be an inspiration to many artists, the founder of the Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines. Here is Mr. Romulo Galicano to share the history and motivation behind PASPI.
At sa kapakanan ng buong organisasyon ng PASPI, Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines, una-una kami po ay magpapasalamat kay Mr. Rafi Benitez na siya ang may mungkahi nitong idea nitong paggawa ng libro para sa PASPI. At sa lahat ng nasa likod ng success itong libro nito, at lahat na mga tao na nagbigay effort para ma-materialize ito lahat nito. No? So ngayon, magbigay ako ng kapirasong idea na history ang PASPI, Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines. Na nagkaroon ng nabuo itong idea nito way back to 2005 nung pagkatapos nung manalo ako doon ng Grand Prize sa Portrait Artist Society of America, ngayon lumapit sa akin na isa sa mga judge, no? Si Mr. Robert Liberace. And then tinanong niya sa akin, kumusta ang art movement sa Pilipinas? Meron bang grupo ng katulad ng ginagawa namin ito, portrait artist? Sabi ko, well, mayroong mga ilang grupo, no? But not so concerned about portrait painting. Mayroong plein air artist group, no? So, mayroong mga ganyan. Now, sabi niya, kung wala pa, bakit hindi mo subukin itayo na magtayo about portraiture? Sabi ko, magandang idea yan. So sige, pag-iisipan ko yan. So hanggang sa nakausap ko yung mga artists from Cebu tungkol doon sa pinag-usapan namin ni Mr. Liberace. So na-encourage sila. So matagal din nabuo namin yan, 10 years. No? After 10 years, nabuo na yung portrait, itong PASPI nito, Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines, sa Cebu. Iyan ang first chapter, iyan ang Cebu chapter. Puro Cebuano ang mga member doon. And then, nung nagkaroon kami ng mga group exhibit dito sa Mega Mall, may mga bisita tayo, mga artist dito sa Manila, natanong nila sa amin na gusto namin maging member, but pupunta pa kami ng Cebu. But hindi mo subuking magtayo dito sa Manila. Sabi ko, oo nga naman pala. No? So, in short, ginagawa namin yan. Tinatrabaho ka na magtayo no, nakausap ko yan sila si Mr. Ballada, Mr. Dante Silverio, si Cadid, Fred Baldemor, at yung iba pa na i-ano natin to, buuin natin to. Kaya sila ang nagiging mga officers, no? So, tuloy-tuloy na. Nung nabuo na yan, nagkakaroon kami ng mga group exhibits para makilala na mayroon palang Portrait Artist Society of the Philippines dito sa Manila, hindi lang sa Cebu. So ito yung Manila chapter. So marami ng mga events na kaming nagagawa, like ilang group exhibit na bang nagawa natin?
Marami namin.
Tapos ang ginagawa namin, kinausap ko si Mrs. Rojas, Judy Rojas, para magkaroon kami ng isang slot sa isang linggo. So binigay sa amin Wednesday after lunch. So every Wednesday nasa nasa Cubao, gateways, may gateway, no? So ang ginagawa namin doon, mayroon kaming model, mag-painting from life kami, mag-drawing from life, no? Tapos may lecture kami, mayroon kaming demonstrations. So lahat ng kailangan nung mga young students, artists, ginagawa namin para sa kapakanan ng marami. So, ganyan lagi ang routine ng ginagawa ng PASPI ngayon, ano, na may mga lectures kami, no, para magkaroon ng kamulatan, di ba? Kunting history, lecture about history of arts, para ma-develop yung sense of intellect nila. So, compositions, lahat-lahat na kailangan sa painting. Iyon ang ginagawa ng PASPI ngayon. Kaya ito ngayon, magpapasalamat kami uli dahil malaking magagawa ito, very significant to sa kabuuan ng PASPI, itong book, itong art books na ito na ang title is SYM, Galicano, and the PASPI Artist, no? Na para ma-encourage ng gusto ang ating mga young artists, members, at pati yung hindi pa members. So, ito na yung simula. Maraming salamat uli kay Mr. Rafi Benitez, sa iyo, Diana, at sa ibang mga tao na nasa likuran nitong nagpakapagod, okay, para sa kapakanan ng PASPI. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Mr. Galicano. Dear audience, presenting to you Mulong Galicano, Fred Baldemor, Romy Ballada, Boy Briones, Cadid, Boboy Canete, Ariel Caratao, Ramon de Dios, Efren Enolva, Florido, Alvin Montano, Willie De Vera, Jo Marie Sanclaria, Dante Silverio, Lita Wells, and SYM Mendoza, who have shared their lives and works in the coffee table book, SYM, Galicano, and PASPI. Everyone hopes to inspire as many people as we can to keep supporting and promoting Philippine arts and the Filipino artists. To share a short message, here is PASPI Director Alvin Montano.
Hello everyone, I'm Alvin Montano and I'm one of the artists featured in the book. To the people behind Erehwon Artworld Corporation, headed by its chairman and CEO, Rafael Benitez, President Jose Cabazor, and the chairman of Erehwon Art Foundation Incorporated, Willie De Vera, the founding leader of the Dimasalang artists, Romeo Y. Mendoza, our founder and chairman of the Portrait Artists Society of the Philippines Incorporated, or PASPI, Romulo Galicano, and to President Efren Enolva of PASPI Cebu, and to President Carlos C. Cadid of PASPI Manila, fellow artists and friends, and to all who are viewing this book launching via Zoom, a pleasant afternoon to all of us. In behalf of PASPI Cebu and PASPI Manila, and to my fellow artists who are featured in the book, I would like to thank Erehwon Artworld and Erehwon Art Foundation for this rare opportunity to showcase our artworks alongside with the two pillars of Philippine art, namely Sofronio Y. Mendoza, or better known by his initials, SYM, and Romulo Galicano. It is truly an honor to be included in this book, for it will serve as a chronicle of our development as an artist and to share our individual stories. There in that book, you will learn how we became artists. Some of us came from the academy, others are self-taught. You will also learn our struggles and inspirations behind our journey in the art world. This book also reflects the selflessness and generosity of a great man. Our PASPI chair, Sir Mulong, instead of being featured only with SYM Mendoza, he requested Erehwon to include some of the artists from PASPI because he wants our group to be part of this book to feature its accomplishments in molding future generation of artists who are adept in the contemporary art and raise the level of excellence of Filipino artists so that they could be recognized and be well respected, not just locally, but internationally as well. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, this book is our legacy and contribution to Philippine art. Maraming salamat.
Mr. Montano, an esteemed writer, critic, and a gifted artist himself, Mr. Sid Reyes shares with us his impression of SYM, Galicano, and PASPI Coffee Table Book.
Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. I'm very grateful that I was invited to give a short message to the people behind the present book that's being launched today. This is the book on the portrait artists of the Philippines. I want to, at the outset, I want to give my congratulations to Mr. Rafael Benitez of Erehwon Artworld Corporation, and of course to my very good friend and fellow artist, chairman of Erehwon, Mr. Boyce Villavicencio. I wish I could join you and be personally present, but with the present pandemic situation, this is the next best thing that we can do. So I just want to say congratulations to a very well done project. This I noticed. I remember the first book done by Erehwon, which was on the Philippine social realists, and you know, and this present book on the PASPI, the Philippine Artists Portrait Artists Society, both were written by Mr. Amadís Guerrero, who is really a veteran writer. Amadís, if I may call him Amadís, because you know we have been writers for so long together. Amadís claims that he is not an art critic, but you know I think he's being very modest. He has the sensitivity of a good art critic, because he likes to refer to himself as a features writer very humbly. So I noticed also that the two books, the Philippine Social Realist and the Portrait Artist, are all about a certain movement or a group of artists who are pursuing a similar, a common destination or a common path. So both are very historical movements. And I want to give my admiration to Amadís, because Amadís has a natural gift for storytelling, very narrative, and you can see that he has the patience to listen, and it's a gift in itself, you know, the ability to interview artists. From my experience, artists are among the most difficult people to interview. I'm speaking for someone who has interviewed all the past Filipino masters. The artists are very sensitive people, and they try to feel their way around the interviewer. And so if they feel that the interviewer is not sympathetic towards them, then you won't get very much. But Amadís is able to get so much, you know, from the artists, who are usually not very loquacious, or shall we say, they're not very talkative people. They're very talkative among themselves when they're talking shop. But with the others, they have a tendency to keep things to themselves. So Amadís, again, I send you my well wishes, and you know, you can be like the you know, in the Renaissance century, you can be the Vasari of Philippine art. Vasari was the chronicler of the Renaissance artists, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Now, the present book chronicles the life story of two very important Filipino artists, and both of them, of course, are Cebu-based, and of course, we know them to be Mr. SYM Mendoza and Mr. Romulo Galicano. These two are the great mentors of today's generation of realist figurative artists. And we must not forget that, you know, Mr. SYM and Mr. Romulo, both of them were at one time very young artists themselves who were in need of a good mentoring. And they were lucky, fortunate to have found the perfect mentor in the late Mr. Martino Abellana, who himself was trained and mentored by the great Fernando Amarsolo during their UP Fine Arts years. So it's very gratifying to see that we see generation after generation after generation of Filipino artists who transfer all the precious lessons of their life experiences from one generation to another. Now, the PASPI group, I noticed, you know, the wide range of generations, and you know, the very young artists that I saw. You can see already that they're really following the great path of Mr. Galicano. The lessons in history cannot be found in books. They're found in the personal, interpersonal conversation, where they're talking shop. Many things that we may find to be very mundane, matters that may not interest us, who are not involved in the art of painting. But I learned so much, you know, from reading the book. This is a book that is both interesting and attractive, both to the technical-oriented artists, and as well as to the ordinary laymen who are ordinarily not concerned with technical things. They just want to see, sometimes to understand what goes on behind that mysterious artistic process. And the book does not fail. I really found it very interesting. So again, I send my congratulations that Erehwon has found another worthy project, and I look forward to seeing the next project. I think you are creating a kind of renaissance in the area of Quezon City, and which needs badly, you know, more art consciousness, because we do need here as well in the South. And I think very passionate people like Mr. Rafael Benitez, Mr. Boyce Villavicencio, and of course the mentors, Mr. SYM Mendoza, who is, I believe, still in Canada, Mr. Romulo Galicano, our great mentors, preparing the great future artists of tomorrow. So maraming salamat, and I'm sure the book will be a bestseller. Congratulations, Amadís. We must talk again soon.
Thank you to all of our speakers. And we shall now witness the author, Amadís Maria Guerrero, as he personally signs copies of the SYM, Galicano, and PASPI coffee table book. So hi to our audience. We hope you have stayed with us because we will be giving away a copy of SYM, Galicano, and PASPI Coffee Table book to 2 lucky guests. But before that, I would just like to invite you to subscribe on our YouTube channel, Erehwon Center for the Arts. And please like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram, Erehwon Center for the Arts. Okay? So now we have Wheel of Names to determine who's the lucky winner. Okay, the first lucky winner is Teresita Torda. We have a winner. Congratulations. And we have another one. Okay, the second lucky winner is Elwin Leon. So congratulations to the winners. To claim your prize, first kindly like and subscribe to the Erehwon Center for the Arts YouTube channel. And DM us your name, your contact number, and your address to Erehwon Artworld Facebook page. Again, congratulations and thank you. The SYM, Galicano, and PASPI Coffee Table book is now officially launched. Thank you very much for joining us. And on behalf of Erehwon Artworld Corporation, Erehwon Art Foundation Inc., and Erehwon Center for the Arts, congratulations to author Amadís Guerrero and to all of the PASPI artists. You may get a copy of SYM, Galicano, and PASPI through Erehwon Book Shop, Fully Bookstores nationwide, Solidaridad Book Shop, Popular Bookstore, and artbooks.ph. Thank you and have a pleasant afternoon to everyone.